What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. Congratulations to the Toronto Raptors for winning the 2019 NBA Championship. Great Game 6. The first half was a nip and tuck affair, a great tug of war. Both teams playing at a very high level. Klay Thompson had a great first half. He had 21 points, shooting the three, coming off screens, playing at a very high level, man. He was obviously the best player on the floor for the Golden State Warriors. Kyle Lowry had a great first half himself. I think he ended up with 18 points. As he my bad. He had 21 points in the first half as he carried the team while Kyrie Leonard was struggling. He had a great first half. You notice he played, his best games were in Oakland, man. He played much better in Oakland than he did in Toronto, man. And he had a very good, very strong first half with 21 points, man. He led the team while Kawhi Leonard was struggling with his shot. And Klay Thompson did the same thing while Steph Curry was struggling with his shot. So going into halftime, man, you kind of knew that whatever team number one option would have the better second half, that would be the team that would be victorious. You wondered if it was going to be Kawhi Leonard, would he bounce back and have a strong second half, or would it be Steph Curry bouncing back and having a strong second half for the Golden State Warriors? I thought that was going to be the key, and what third option on each team would step up. You had two players doing that. You had Iguodala, he played good. He played good, ended up with 22 points. You had Serge Ibaka. He played well off the bench for the Toronto Raptors. So going to halftime, Toronto was up 60-57. Like I said, the game was played at a very high level. Both teams' defenses I thought were pretty good. I don't think each one of them were great, but they were pretty good. You look at the score, you was thinking, well, man, it's not a lot of great defense being played, but I just thought that it was just great offensive execution by both teams. And the thing about I noticed in the first half, man, even though Toronto had 60 points, they had a lot of good looks. They had a lot of good looks at threes that they did miss. And, I was thinking if they would have been hitting those shots, they made a lot of threes, but they had a lot of good looks, man. Most of their shots were very good looks. Golden State was hitting a lot of tough shots in the first half. They was coming out screens, and you had multiple defenders on Klay Thompson, multiple defenders on Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson was able to score anyway. He's just a great shooter, man. He was in a zone in that first half, man. Unbelievable, man. He ended up with 30 points. It was a shame that he got hurt in the third quarter, man, on a fast break. He went to the basket. I think it was who was it that was trying to contest it? Was it man, I forgot the guy that was trying to contest it. I think it was the guy off the bench for Toronto, the guy out of UCLA. What's his name? I think his name is Graham. I think he was contesting the shot. I think that was him. Yeah, he was contesting the shot, and Klay Thompson landed wrong, and I think he might have had probably was a knee sprain, and he landed kind of awkward on there with a lot of weight on that. I think it was the right leg, and he went down in pain, and you knew then he was like, man, Golden State already lost their best player in Kevin Durant, and then you see their third best player, Klay Thompson, a multiple time All-Star, laying on the court in pain, man. You was thinking like, damn, man, two of their top three players looking like they're gonna be out for this, and it's gonna be on Steph Curry to carry the load, and he wasn't able to do that, man. He really struggled behind the three. I think he was like 2 for 7 from the field with like 9 points and at one point in the game, and he was able to kind of rally and hit a couple of shots, man, a couple of threes, man. But overall, man, you got to give Fred VanVleet a lot of pressure, man. He stuck to him like a white on rice, man. He played very good defense. Had a lot of help, though. Had a lot of team defense, because when he did get a little separation from VanVleet, they had the guys like Siakam coming over there to help, Kawhi Leonard coming over there to help. They had multiple defenders shading his way when he did get a little separation from VanVleet, man. Just good individual defense by Fred VanVleet, and good team defense by the Toronto Raptors, man. Very, just a good game. This game is going to be kind of clouded. Clouded. Toronto, don't get me wrong, they deserve to win the championship. They showed over the course of 6 games that they were the better team, but a lot of people going to be like, what if Kevin Durant was healthy? What if Klay Thompson wouldn't have got hurt in the third quarter? Well, we would have went to a game 7. It's going to be a lot of what ifs, but Toronto can't control that. They can only play the course. They have no control over injuries with the other team. They just got to play it out how it go, and that's what they did, man. They showed that they were just a better defensive team, and they executed better in the half-court offense, and they was able to push the ball and get a lot of buckets in transition. And I think that was the difference. Excuse me. I think that was the difference in the series, man. But give Golden State credit, man. They showed the heart of a champion. They never gave up. They faced a lot of adversity in this series. You know, Game 5, you know, they were cooking. They was hitting on all cylinders. They had their number one player back. He was having a good game, 12 points, I think, in 11 minutes. He was having a good game. He was on his way to maybe having one of those 40-point games, and he ended up getting hurt and rupturing his Achilles. But they was able to, still keep on trucking, man, keep on chugging along, and they were able to pull that game out. You know, they were down 103-97 in Game 5. And then the Splash Brothers went on a personal. They went on a 9-0 run, you know, with Klay Thompson hit a 3, then Steph Curry hit a 3, and then Klay Thompson back door hit another 3. They went from 103-97 to 106-103, and they was able to hang on to win Game 5, 106-105. So give those guys credit. They've been to 5 straight finals, 3 championships, you know, 3-2 in 5 finals. You know, so they showed a lot of heart, and they showed a lot of resilience, and they showed you why they were champions 3 times over. So it was just a good game by both teams. You know, and like I said, even with all those injuries, Golden State still had a chance. We can say the injuries hurt them, but at the end of the day, they still had a chance to win the game, man. Steph Curry had a good look, but missed it, man. Missed it bad. He wasn't in a good rhythm shooting the threes all night long. Was off the whole game, and but you know he has a shooter's mentality. He always thinks that next shot is going to go in, and he just missed that shot, man. He had a good look, man. He makes that shot. We're going to Game 7, and then to Game 7, it's whoever plays well in that one particular game would have been the world champions. But then Steph Curry didn't make the shot. Toronto was able to secure the rebound, and they was able to hang on and win a 114-110 game, man. But Golden State had their chances. Even with the injuries, they had chances to win the game, man. But they just couldn't come through. You know, you look at Boogie Cousins, man. He had a lot of games, a lot of hit and miss games, man. But I just don't think he was healthy. Coming back from that calf injury, man, he just did not have the explosion. But he, the explosion that he normally had, I thought that affected him, especially when he had buckets. We had shots right at the rim that he normally would be automatic 2 points. He wasn't able to finish. He was getting a lot of those shots blocked. He was having a hard time finishing a lot of those shots, man, at the rim, man, because he just did not have the explosiveness off that leg. But he had a couple of other. He did have a few good games. Like Game 5, he played well. He played well Game 5. You know, and he, a lot of, it's just a testament to his character, man. Because he was the games that he did have played well. He did that off of skill and will, not so much of athleticism. He did it off skill and will, man. Game 5, he came in and played well, especially when Durant got hurt. You know, he was on the bench when Steve Kerr first went to the bench to bring in the bigs, man. He was on the bench, man. I think the guy brought in Looney. And to come in off the bench behind when they had the Hampton 5 out there, he brought in Looney, and he was on the bench. And they brought in Bogut too. I think Bogut played, and he was on the bench. So it was looking like he probably wasn't going to play in Game 5. But with Durant injury, they needed some more scoring, so he was able to come in. He played well. But in Game 6, he came back in Game 6 and struggled. So he was like he'd have one good game, have one bad game, one good game, one bad game. Like he played good in Game 2, but didn't play well in Game 3 or Game 4. But he played good in Game 5, but didn't play good in Game 6. So it was just an up and down series for Boogie Cousins, but I just don't think he was all the way healthy. Hopefully he can rehab in the off season and get his body back to 100%, get his legs back to 100%. And hopefully he can get back to the Boogie Cousins that we saw in Sacramento and New Orleans. But overall, man, it was a good game, great competition, great finals with the 6 games. You know, I would have loved for it to go to a Game 7. I'm a basketball junkie. Would have loved to see this. I didn't have no dog in the fight as far as who I want, who was my, who I was pulling for to win the series. I'm a Houston Rocket fan at heart. They got knocked out by Golden State. So I didn't really care who really won the series, but I wanted to see, I wanted to go 7 games, man, because I like the drama and the anticipation of a game 7. But it didn't go that way. But you look at all these games, man. There were some games at a high level. This game 6, man, was a great game, man. Great game, man, especially in the first half. Second half, it kind of slowed down and kind of got down to a game of wheels. The execution level had went down, and both teams were just kind of, I think they was kind of going on, both teams like on fumes at that point, especially in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, man. Both teams were running on fumes, man. They were just slugging it out, man. It just came down to Steph Curry having a good look, down 1, and he just didn't make the shot, man. He just didn't make the 3. He had a good look, man, but he was struggling behind the 3-point line the whole game. So it was just one of those games where he just didn't have a shot going that night. So it is what it is, man. I'm sure Steph Curry will bounce back. 2 times MVP, 2-time MVP, and I'm sure he'll bounce back, man, and come back next season with vengeance and be looking to take his team on another deep playoff run and try to win a 4th ring. And as far as Toronto goes, it's going to be an interesting offseason for them, man. We'll see if they bring back, we'll see if Kawhi Leonard decides to sign with him. He's won a championship. I think it's a good situation for Kawhi. He's in Toronto. He's a beloved figure. He'll go down in Toronto sports history lore. So I think he's in a good situation, man. He's got a good point guard in Kyle Lowry. He's got a good young player that's only going to get better in Pascal Siakam. Got a solid big man in Marc Gasol, a real good bench. You got Fred VanVleet. You got guys coming off that bench. I think Green is a free agent like Kawhi Leonard. They could look to probably bring him back, as he's kind of like he brings that veteran presence, can hit threes. He kind of brings some of the same intangibles that Andre Iguodala has brought to Golden State in these 5 finals that they made. So we'll see what happens, man. But if Kawhi Leonard comes back to Toronto, they'll obviously be the team to beat in the East. And depending on what Kevin Durant does, Kevin Durant's going to probably miss all of next season. Depending on what happens over in the West as far as Golden State and teams like the Lakers and bringing in free agents and stuff like that, I think they'll probably be the team to beat overall in NBA, the Toronto Raptors, man. We'll see what happens, man. But great finals, man. Congratulations to the Toronto Raptors. Congratulations to the city of Toronto. Congratulations to the country of Canada. And it was just a great finals, man. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Get ready to go to bed, man. Just giving you my recap on Game 6. Great finals. And we'll see how this free agency process plays out. We got the NBA draft coming up. I'll probably give you my thoughts on the draft coming up. I think it'll be Thursday on June the 20th. I'll probably give you my thoughts on that sometime next week. And some of the prospects coming out of college, and some of the sleepers, and some of the guys that might go late in the first round. That could be steals. Some of the guys that's going to go in the second round that could be steals, man. I just give you my overall observation of the draft coming up. So we'll see what happens. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Y'all guys take it easy, man. Again, this is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.